So I've been studying cigar box guitar and slide guitar for about 2 weeks now, and it's been intense to say the least, I guess. So I thought I would share with you guys my experience and what it's been like so far. This isn't like a tutorial, but just my journey of how I learned, but I think you'll still learn some stuff, so stay with me. The first thing I noticed is there is a look about people who play slide guitar and play cigar box guitar, and I don't really have it. And I think that's important because when people watch like those videos and see these people performing playing slide guitar, they kind of expect a certain demeanor, a certain style, and I've just realized along the way that I don't really fit that. I like the music, I actually love the music, but I just don't have the look, the clothes, I guess. I'm just a little different outside the box, I guess. The second thing is the music is so bluesy. And so they make a lot of use of the blues scale and the blues changes. And if you look back at the history, it's deeply rooted in blues. I guess that's why so much of this music employs the blues scale and blues changes. And so I had to get that in my hands, into my playing, into my head as I was starting to study and play this music. The next thing to talk about would be the technique of actually playing it. I tried to play it years ago and have tried to play several times throughout my career playing guitar, and haven't taken the time to study it and really digest some of the stuff, and so I kind of gave up on it. And now, like, actually putting time and hours into learning the music and the craft, I realized how difficult it is. And so there are two main techniques, the first being the right hand and the second being the left hand. The right hand, it was difficult to learn because if you just put the slide on the guitar and play with a pick, then all the notes start to ring out. And so what you have to do is you have to put down the pick and use your thumb and your fingers to mute the strings and play one string at a time or two strings at a time. And while you're moving to different string sets or different strings, you have to mute the preceding string that you were just playing. And so not only do you have to pay attention to where this hand is, the left hand is going, but your right hand has to constantly be muting strings and moving between strings. And so some of those move patterns, I guess, with the right hand just feel a little weird and odd sometimes. And there was a lot of times I got messed up because I was trying to use like a right hand classical like tremolo technique, like picking the string with like 2 or 3 fingers at a time to get a certain effect, and then multiple strings would be ringing out. So having to stop myself from doing that and only use one finger to pick while the other strings mute was, there was a learning curve there. But once you get used to it, you get used to it, but still difficult. So actually holding the slide, I tried many ways. I tried like actually just putting it in my hand, not around a finger and sliding it around. I tried putting it on different fingers, but I found it's just preference for people. Some people put it on the pinky, but I actually like it on the ring finger. So brief interruption for the question of the day, which is, who is your favorite slide guitar player? If you haven't listened to any or know of any, listen to some, Google some, and then answer in the comments. Thanks. The next problem that comes from that is whenever you use a slide, you'll notice that you don't get specific notes or specific tones. Wherever you place the slide, that's the tone, the frequency you get. So the key there is placement. So if you're hitting multiple notes at the same time, hitting multiple strings, and your slide isn't perfectly straight, you're gonna get an out of tune chord. So no matter where you move, you have to keep the slide straight, and you have to have a good ear to be able to place the slide on the specific pitch and not anywhere below or above, or else you get a different tone. To help explain my point, see if you can hear the difference between these two recordings. So as you heard, the first one has 4 distinct pitches, and the second one also has those 4 distinct pitches, but when using the slide, it removes some of that distinctiveness. It almost removes the frets. And so what you get is not just one specific frequency, but every frequency between one note to the next note you can hear in the movement of the slide. And so when using the slide, you have to be very precise in placement. So the next thing I notice is that when people use the slide, they are never starting right on the note with the slide, but they're either starting above and sliding down, or they're starting below and sliding up to the note. Hammer-ons are a little bit different as well, where normally you hammer, if you think of hammer-on, you're hammering on directly onto a note with your left hand using another finger. But with the slide, they hammer a little bit below and slide up to the next note. And so whenever I started playing and trying to learn some licks from different artists and listening to different people, different YouTubers, watching different tutorials, and just spending hours trying to learn slide guitar, I didn't want to just redo a piece, but I wanted to create a piece. And so whenever I created my piece, I took the blues changes and put them together. I used some of the blues scale, and I tried to incorporate two different styles, one being kind of a free rhythm, kind of just playing around. It has a rhythm, it has a pulse, but it just sounds more free, like I'm just kind of noodling on slide guitar, because there is that hint of improvisation. And so that's kind of the start. And then the second is just like a blues changes with some rock influence along the way. So the third thing about my piece is I took some influence from the game Left 4 Dead. So the title screen always has, it seems like some like slide guitar going on, like just kind of like an eerie feel. And part of the blues scale includes the fourth tone followed by a sharp 4, then a fifth, and then you continue on. And normally people use just like that chromatic motion just to get to the fifth or go down to the fourth and then go from there. But in some tunes, in some new music, and Left 4 Dead, the way they get this eerie slide kind of feeling is they don't chromatically move from it, but they stay on that flatted fifth, which gives that eerie sound. And so I also threw that chord in there in a few places. So see if you can catch it, and hope you like this. So I appreciate you watching this video and sticking around. Stay tuned, catch some videos. I post videos on Mondays. Last week I couldn't post one because it was Memorial Day, and so I was with family, and I also got really sunburned, which kind of stunk. But I appreciate if you would subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by July, and I really don't think it's gonna happen at this point, but you never know. So, but anyway, just thanks for watching. It's been super fun making these videos, and I just love playing guitar. It's just amazing, and I love to laugh too. So I'm trying to post some more funny stuff and include my humor. And if you have any ideas for my channel or what you think I should do or anything, just let me know.